Thank you, everybody. Welcome once again to Light Bright Interviews. This is our Unsung Heroes version. I am R. Hutchinson, and we just want to let you welcome you. I have a special guest coming on in just a few minutes. Before we begin, I just want to remind you guys that coming up on March 30th, we have the Light Bright Book Signing Jamboree. It's going to take place at the Bronzeville Incubator at 5055 South Prairie Avenue from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you want to come get your book signed, you want to come meet the author, or you want to learn more about Light Bright and what we do as a company, as an organization, as a publisher company, or even how you can get your own book published, definitely check us out. You can send us an email at info@lbpublications.com, or you can check out our website at lbpublication.com. Just want to let you guys know that we also have a couple of books coming down the pipeline. We have a Stone Love written by the wonderful brother Ali or Charles Smith, a great story about his time as a former Black Peace Stone during the 1960s. We have some upcoming children's books. We have some upcoming finance books. We have some more stories coming down the pipeline. You definitely want to check us out. Like I say, if you're an aspiring author, or you know somebody that wants to get this story written, definitely give us a shout out. Right now, we're gonna play the commercial for the Lover's Quarrel.
Author R. Hutchinson, an exhilarating love story where Nate Jones risks everything for true love. Encountering unexpected challenges, he discovers not everyone has his best interest at heart. Nate realizes changing his environment is key to connecting with a higher caliber of women. Navigating obstacles, he gets closer to his goal but faces a formidable adversary in the way of true love. Order your copy online today.
Yes, sir. So here at Light Bright, we definitely want to reach out to that unsung hero, that unsung author, that person in the community who definitely wants to bring the best to the table. Everybody has a story they want to that they want to share. Everybody has somebody. Everybody has a story they want to share. Everybody has something they need to get out to the community, and we want to help facilitate that here at Light Bright. We always say we bring dreams to reality, and we definitely want to assist bringing your dream into reality as well. We definitely have some other things coming down the pipeline. If you missed earlier, we definitely having the book signing jamboree. That will be in 2 weeks on March 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the High Park Incubator. You can definitely find us on LinkedIn and Eventbrite to get your tickets. Or like I said before, if you want to come in and get your book signed by R. Hudson, you can definitely do that as well. I'm actually working on a second book as we speak called Lovers versus Rivals. It's in the pipeline. It's definitely a story that you guys have definitely find interesting, especially if you enjoy the Lovers Quarrel and my writing style. We want to hammer home the importance of relationships. A lot of times people are talking about relationships in a negative way, but we definitely want to bring back the positive aspects of relationships. We definitely want to bring back the positive aspects of relationships, the positive aspects of working with each other, and why it's so important for us to come together as a community. Just a second. We want to give a big shout out to Mr. Ezechima of SyncPix. That's one of the other products we have. SyncPix posters are definitely part of the fabric of Light Bright. We don't just offer the books, we also offer the posters as well. If you're looking for a poster that can give you motivation, hope. If you look for something to keep you focused, keep you stay on topic, something that'll give you up in the morning, to give you the extra motivation, then SyncPix is definitely something you want to check out as well. You can also find those at lbpublications.com. Somebody in the chat asked how can they get their book published. The easiest way to get the book published is to check out LB info. Email us at info@lbpublications.com. All right, I want to bring on somebody right now. Give me 1 second. We're gonna bring on Miss Danielle Mariette. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Thank you for definitely being our special guest and coming on. I actually had a
Yeah,
couple of questions I want to ask you as
sure,
well.
of course. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, can you tell the audience a little bit who you are?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Danielle Marietta. I started as I studied writing all throughout school, did all that, then decided to self-publish. Before I published my first book, I started a publishing company because I
Okay.
knew I would have a lot of books to publish for
Mm-hmm.
myself. And then after publishing three, I decided to start taking on other authors, offering more publishing services. So through that, have grown to a publishing company. So that's me. My publishing company is Books and Things Publishing.
So much like myself, we're both writers, we're both publishers. Can you give me an example? Tell me what made you start writing. Everyone has a different journey, but what made you start writing as well?
Yeah, so I first was writing for news. I studied broadcast journalism, so I was doing news for radio, I was doing news for BET, and I kept hearing the same feedback that it was too personal and I needed to take myself out of the writing, like I was too creative. And so I was just like, oh, maybe this wasn't meant for me. And then started having kids. And, as they started growing their home libraries, noticed obviously a lack of diversity in books. So
Right,
was
right,
like, well,
right.
let me try that. Maybe I could do more creative things that way since I wasn't able to be as creative on the news side. So started creative writing with children's books, and
Mhm.
that was the beginning for me.
So being a writer and having your own published company, obviously you're getting feedback, you're getting new ideas. Can you talk about some of the upcoming projects you have working on?
Oh man. So right now I have two of our authors have books coming out on March 26th. So we are kind of pushing for those right now. I have a fantasy novel from another author that we signed that's in its second round of edits right now.
Okay.
And we should be seeing that probably later this summer.
Okay.
And then we have another book that we just signed with an illustrator today. So
Yeah,
that one
wonderful.
should be coming later this year as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, obviously, being in the publishing business, being an author, you meet writers all the time. I know I've met writers. What advice would you give to inspiring writers?
The best advice that I have for aspiring writers is to write what you want to write.
Hmm.
Because if you're trying to fit a mold, it's not going to be good. No matter how good of a writer you are, you can
Hmm.
tell when someone's in their pocket and when someone's not in the pocket, right? So when you're writing what you want to write about, it's going to come across better. You'll be more excited about it, meaning you'll be able to talk about it more. You'll be able to do the marketing that'll come naturally with it
Right.
more, and you'll just enjoy it more. So I tell folks, write what you want. I'm going to add a second tip in there is to not drown yourself in research.
Mm.
Do your research on self-publishing, or if you want to go the traditional route, do your
Right.
research on all of it and then just make a decision, because you could spend your entire life researching and
Right.
just
Right.
never do anything.
It's just funny enough story. I know I found myself when I first got started, doing the research of self-publishing versus traditional publishing before I decided to start my own publishing company. And you're right, you can get lost in that research if you're not willing to take the action, because you'll be, what about this? Well, if I self-publish, I might go this route. If I do traditional publishing, I should go this route.
Yeah.
I agree with that. The best thing to just do is just get started.
Just
What
get
would
started, do something. You can always pivot or,
Right.
change what you're doing, but nothing's going to happen if you never get started.
Right, right. Wonderful, wonderful. What would you say is the biggest contribution to your success at this stage of your publishing company?
Social media. I will say it's a love-hate relationship.
I agree.
um,
I agree
right?
150%.
But it really has. I mean, when I think about it, it's like all of the connections that I have made up to this point are some way, shape, or form through social media.
Right, right.
So I wouldn't be where I am without it. And so I also tell authors that come on board, like, please do not be afraid to, jump on whatever platform you're comfortable on, but to start doing things and putting yourself or your book or whatever out there.
Hmm. Um, I can agree with that. I think social media was also a big it's also a big love hate relationship. I'm not the biggest fan, but I also let the opportunities. I know you're out in the DMV area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm here in Chicago, so obviously I'm not going to fly to the DMV area to talk to you. Social media gave us a platform to connect and say, hey, and kind of make that connection. So it has its benefits, its pros, its cons. You just need to utilize it the best way for you.
Exactly. Mhm.
What would you say is your biggest challenge thus far?
My biggest challenge with starting a publishing company.
Just in general, writing, publisher company.
I'll go with well, this kind of goes for all of it. Funding, funding for all the things.
You and me
Um,
both.
right. So I knew I wanted to write a children's book a while before I actually published. And the
Okay.
reason I finally could was because 2020 happened and I all of a sudden wasn't paying for my 3 kids to be in daycare. So
Hmm.
I took the money that I was spending on daycare and I put it on the side to get an illustrator to get, to figure that out. And it was like, if I wouldn't have had this money, which had, money was tight. It's paycheck to paycheck. It's going
Right,
right.
right,
I work to then pay for my kids to go to daycare. So
right.
once daycare was off, I was like, oh shoot, let me find an illustrator real quick. And then I also felt the rush because I was like, I don't know when school's going to start back up, when things
Hmm.
are going to open back up, and I'm going to have that bill again. So let me take all of my daycare money and throw it into my book money. And here we are.
Well, it seemed like you made the right decision. It's paying off. Speaking on
So,
that on the publishing company, what do you have planned for the future? What's the long term vision?
the long-term vision, my big goal would be honestly to get picked up by one of the big publishing houses as an
Hmm.
imprint. So, to hopefully that would help address the funding, that would help address,
Right.
a few things. And so yeah, that's going to be the goal.
Okay. Now this may be a little unconventional, but I always like to ask this question: what advice would you give what would be the one piece of advice you would give your childhood self? If you can go back in time to young Danielle and ask her, tell her, give her a piece of advice, what would that be?
Um, oof. Like there's a lot of tips.
Yeah.
But I would probably say don't stop doing what you really love
Mm-hmm.
just to please other people.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right. I know sometimes in life we tend to want to please our family, please our friends, people are in a circle to do things we think they feel should be our right path, but sometimes we definitely need to go with what we think is the best for us and will give us that ultimate sense of satisfaction and happiness.
exactly.
I can speak from experience on that, so I can agree with that 110%. So definitely. Last thing, is there any comments, anything you want to share, any spoilers, anything you want to give us?
um, let's see, spoilers. I don't know, but comments, I would just say, if y'all are watching this and you are wherever you are in your writing journey, I love author coaching. And I think the one big difference between me and other author coaches is I do not give the same response to everybody that reaches out. Like,
Mhm.
I really like to figure out what is important for you. What is it that you are looking for? If
Right.
you're financially driven, I'm going to send you this way. If you're long-term driven, I'm going to send you that way. So if you're looking for some help, some tips, let me know. I'm here to help and I will be honest. all of the time.
Well, honesty is definitely the best policy. How can people get in touch with you, Danielle?
The best way to get in touch with me is through, you can honestly slide in my DMs. I'm there checking those because you never know. So
What's your Instagram so people want to get in
you
touch
can
with you?
you can follow me on Instagram at Danielle Marietta Books. The publishing company is at Books and Things Pub, not publishing, Pub. On TikTok, it's Books and Things Pub. And then you can visit our website, which is booksandthingspublishing.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Danielle, thank you for coming on. It's definitely good to connect with you. I wish you the best of success. You know, when you get to become that imprint, I'll be like, I interviewed with her back in 2024, so I can look back on that. And I wish us both success in our publishing companies. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Same to you. And yeah, we'll have another conversation in another few years, and we'll both be on another level.
That's right. That's right. I'll catch you next time. All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. So we want to thank Danielle for coming on. You know, we want to reach back out to our community. We want to reach back out to people that are on that path of, you know, making their dreams happen, bringing those dreams into reality. We definitely want to give a big shout out to Danielle for coming on. And just for a last little bit of reminder, everybody, don't forget that our book signing jamboree is going to be coming up March 30th, 2024, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Hyde Park Incubator here in Chicago, located at 5055 South Prairie. And just in case you can purchase your copy of The Lover's Quarrel before or there on site to get it signed by me, Mr. R. Hutchison. And with that, I'm going to head out. Have a good one.
From author R. Hutchison, an exhilarating love story where Nate Jones risks everything for true love. Encountering unexpected challenges, he discovers not everyone has his best interest at heart. Nate realizes changing his environment is key to connecting with a higher caliber of women. Navigating obstacles, he gets closer to his goal, but faces a formidable adversary in the way of true love. Order your copy online today.